Hi guys, and welcome back to 101 with Frank Pinson. We have the main man right here, Mr. Brandon Painter, aka Swaggy P. What's up, sir? You doing all right? Appreciate you for coming on the show, man. So let's jump right into this thing. Everyone knows you from playing sports around here locally. Can you tell us about what high school you went to and what sports it is that you played?
Yes, sir. I went to Dalton High School. I went through the Dalton Public School system my whole way up, and then I played football, basketball, and baseball my freshman and sophomore year at Dalton High, and then just stuck to football and basketball my last 2 years.
Last 2 years. Any shout-outs from all those memories, all those teams, coaches, teachers? Any shout-outs you got?
I mean, I would leave a lot out, but Miss Conley definitely helped me through, and a lot of great coaches such as yourself, Coach Land, who's still at Dalton, just a lot of influential people, Coach Napier especially, and so there's a lot of
good stuff. So let's pause for a second right here. I know you talked about Coach K right here, you know?
Yeah.
So no, that was when I first moved back, and I picked up with you. I actually lucked up and got a good class. You guys were some studs out there. So I want to know about how playing sports or whatever kind of made you who you are today. Can you talk about discipline and nutrition?
Well, for me, when I was in high school, I really kind of just relied on, I really just showed up a lot. And then when I got ready to go to college to play basketball, I realized that, you know, just being athletic wasn't going to be good enough. And number one, the academics definitely plays a huge role. So I've kind of tried to learn to take my training more serious and academics more serious as well.
So for the kids watching today that look up to you, can you talk about the importance of academics? That's something they need to concentrate on, correct?
Yes. Well, honestly, academics, you hear it all the time. It is the number one thing, but you don't really realize that up until the time when it comes to you getting into a school or you not getting into a school. And a lot of times you can get more academic money, and you know, another part of your scholarship can be athletic. That way you can go to a really good school and continue your education as well as playing ball, but you ain't gonna get there unless you
That's right. Academic. So I want to take a time out here to give a shout out to Chris Payne. As a young boy, them guys, him, Gino, Champ, Kentucky, them guys would rough me up over there at First Baptist at a young age. They roughed me up too. They taught me how to play the game of basketball. So shout out to those guys. So speaking about your dad, you guys were actually featured on America's Got Talent. Can you talk about that for a second?
Yes, sir. Well, my dad's been really influential in my life, and you know, him with sports and with music, which is what he was featured on America's Got Talent for, was singing and things like that. But prior to that, he had a lot of offers, you know, for singing and things like that. So he was just kind of giving it one more little push.
Yeah. So shout out to Chris. So, so speaking back to you, can you talk about where you're currently in school, enrolled in school, and what it is you're majoring in? Yes,
I'm actually at Chattanooga State Community College. My associate's is going to be in science, and then my bachelor's is in business management.
So what you plan to do? Can I get a job, man, when you start your own, business? Right. Can I get a job? Yeah, man. Okay, so let's get into this modeling career that you have here. How did that come about? Any shout outs to people who actually got you started?
Well, yes, Caleb Callahan helped me a little bit, and I just kind of learned basically just by watching kind of what he was doing. And then one of my good friends, Charlie Wilson, those just two of the main ones that are signed here in town. And it kind of came about after my first year in college. I stopped playing basketball a little earlier than I expected, and I'd gotten an offer to go with a small agency that gave me a one-year contract that gave me an opportunity to get my feet wet. Then I took some time off and went freelance and did a lot of like brand management type stuff and like representation for people, and then got signed to a 3-year contract with AIG.
3-year contract, man, that's good stuff. So can you, talking about sports again, can you talk a little bit about that discipline and nutrition, how that rolls over into the modeling career?
Right. Well, my nutrition really is playing a huge role right now. It's kind of held me back in a sense because I'm just used to being in the weight room and doing those type of things. But now the nutrition really plays a role when you're trying to cut up and lean out for a shoot. And you know, you're not really going to book shoots if you're not top notch. So
no, you can't eat all those burgers like
I
you
can't eat
burgers,
no donuts,
fries.
cheeseburgers. Hey.
All right, so let's take a look here at some of your work. Can you talk about where some of these pictures took place and how the atmosphere is? Where's this picture here?
Well, this picture here was actually shot in Appleton, Tennessee. And my photographer here in town or Chattanooga, Tennessee, is Jeremy Tucker. And he actually shot that for me.
He shot that for you? Okay, yeah. So with this next picture here, it's like hidden dragon, crouching tiger here.
Yeah, crouching tiger.
What's going on here? What was the, where was that?
Well, we were on a farm, and we had a ton of horses and just a barn, and we had this kind of like wheat field that he wanted to shoot in, and it turned out really good. It's actually featured in Huff magazine.
Oh, really?
And so that went well for me.
You weren't ready to pounce on the horse?
No.
Okay, look at this next picture right here. Where was this located, and what was going on?
That picture was actually in Los Angeles, California, with a photographer named William Callan. And it was right outside of Hollywood, and it was just meant to be like really, I guess it would be considered like modern, kind of just stylish. So I did about 7 outfits in this shoot in Los Angeles, and this was one of my better shots. So.
That's one of your favorite ones,
yeah,
right
one
there,
of my
man.
favorite ones.
That's great stuff right there. So modeling has actually got you to travel everywhere, not just here locally, but I say you went out to LA, and I think that's the prime time location, right?
Yep, yes, sir.
Man, so man, I need you to teach me how to do some of this, man. How do you get into zone, or how do you, can you just talk me through it, and then I'll see if I can do this thing?
Well, you gotta blue steel it, you know,
Okay.
you gotta No, I'm
okay, so let me see if I can do this and see. No, okay.
Oh my
All right, we'll
goodness.
get out of that. So is there anything new that we can be on the lookout for with either you or with your modeling career?
Well, for me, I'm continuing my education, and I do have a job in Chattanooga at Kinder's Express off the East Ridge exit. I do sales and stuff in the furniture business there, and modeling wise, I do have about 3 or 4 gigs, I guess you could say, in the works. At this point, with one commercial opportunity, so I don't want to mention anything by name without having it clarified yet, but yeah, there is some things to look out for.
So how can we keep up with you on social media to see some of these shoots that you do and to follow your career?
My full name is Brandon Painter, and that is my name on Instagram and on Facebook. So you can find me. You can find me there. Feel free to ask me any questions or anything like that.
Sounds great, guys. Be sure to look at me. He gonna invite me out to the next shoot, right?
Yeah, that's
so
right.
I can do my pose and,
Yeah.
and be in the background. Okay. So before we get you out of here, any advice to kids or to the youth or even to adults who are following this road that you're doing in this career path? Any advice you have to them?
Yes, I would say kind of just in general, find your niche, find something that you would want to do even if you weren't getting paid for it, you know, and then kind of motivate yourself to work to get paid for it. I've had to do a lot of promotional stuff for myself, a lot of stuff that didn't pay me just to get to this point. So I would say just follow whatever it is you're passionate about.
Follow what you love, and that hard work will pay off.
That's
isn't it?
right.
So once again, before we get you out of here, what type of shoots do you enjoy the best? Do you like business attire or commercial? Which one do you like the best?
I do like shooting suits. I've done some stuff for Giorgio's Men's Warehouse in Chattanooga and a few others, but my favorite is kind of what we've seen featured here, which is outdoorsy, kind of like southern brands that you might see at like Cabela's or Bass Pro or anything like that.
So can these companies contact you to actually do some shoots for them?
Yeah, they can. They have like you have a ton of brands.
Again.
Yeah, social media really plays a big role in getting featured and things like that. So
hey man, we support you and we wish you to keep doing the positive things, setting these examples for these youth out here for us. So let's give out that social media one more time real quick.
Brandon Painter. I believe my Instagram is bpain22, all lowercase, and then Facebook is just Brandon Painter. So.
That's it. Hey, appreciate you coming on the show, man.
Yes, sir.
Thank you again. So guys, don't go anywhere. Right after this quick commercial break, we'll be right back.